Let's welcome Kathy Holly and Spotlight.
Hi, everybody. Tonight it's a great night because I am going to be talking about the Golden Gate Park Band from San Francisco and the hometown maestro right over here, which is really interesting, from Pacifica, Herman Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Welcome
Hi.
to the show.
Thank you.
And over here, Mark Nemoyten, who is you're the president of the
Yes.
Golden Gate Park
Yes.
Band. And you're also a trumpeter. And I know that, Herman, you also play the trumpet, right? And tell me about, we're going to start with Mark.
Okay.
Because you've been with the Golden Gate Park Band the longest, right?
Yes.
How
Yes.
old is the band? Not you, but the band.
The band is in its 142nd season.
Unbelievable. And all the concerts are free.
They are free, yes. We play in the band shell. The formal name of that is the Spreckles Temple of Music.
Yes.
Which
right.
was built in 1900, pretty much with the band in mind, even though the band predates. The Golden Gate Park Band is maybe one of the oldest cultural institutions in San Francisco. It predates the San Francisco Symphony and the opera and the ballet. And
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
starting in 1882 in a previous band shell. And then they built the band shell in 1900 with the provision that any concerts there had to be free to
Did
the public.
everybody hear that? Oh, and I have an old photo. That's a vintage photo of the band shell. The Spreckles Temple.
Exactly.
It's called. And it was donated by Klaus.
Spreckles, yeah.
I
believe
guess
that's
the
his first name.
upgrade
Yeah.
of it, and eventually, right. And I had another picture. Did we show that already? The local? More recent. There it is. And that's what it looks like with nobody playing yet. But then we fast forward to Sundays at 1 o'clock to 2:30, free concerts in Golden Gate Park. And I mean, it's wonderful and it's been going on now, free concerts this year for 6 months.
We go from the end of April to the first weekend in October generally. It's 24, 25 concerts. This year it'll be 25.
That's a lot.
Yes, it is. Used to go year round. But
Now, is the band able to sustain itself, or should we ask for donations out
we
there?
we definitely ask for donations. The band a few years ago, previous to a few years ago, the band was always run sort of as a sole proprietorship. It was basically owned by the conductor. But because of changes in city policies,
Right.
musicians had to reorganize the band a few years ago as a nonprofit with a board comprised mostly of musicians in the band. And
And there's how many?
30 musicians and all
yes.
professional.
From the local...
Local 6.
Local 6, and I
Musicians
remember,
Union, Local 6,
you're a
American
member
Federation
too,
of
right?
Musicians.
Oh, it's
Yes.
wonderful, wonderful.
And you know, the band was really in danger of going under,
Mm-hmm.
and we decided it was worth saving.
Definitely.
We, unfortunately, a lot of other things happened. This is right before the pandemic. We almost lost all our funding. We had to reapply as a nonprofit,
Mm-hmm.
and
You still exist.
we still exist. Our expenses went way up because of a lot changes in law,
Right.
and in terms of having to pay people as employees instead
Well,
of
tell
independent
me-
contractors, all that stuff.
Right, and that's important. And so, Mark, the music is wonderful. I know that every Sunday there's a different theme.
Right.
And it's a great source of education, and it's a great fun afternoon. You don't pay for it.
No.
You can bring a picnic, you can bring the family. It's free. Everybody, free. Can everybody repeat that?
Yes.
Free. I mean, that's terrific. I go all the time.
I-
I'm working on my tan.
We appreciate that. Yeah, we're trying to get the word out. We're trying to get more people to know about the band.
And that's what hopefully we're doing tonight.
Yes,
right?
yes.
We can try.
Build our audience. in the past there wasn't a lot of, there used to be a time when the band actually, the history of the band, where the programs are published in the newspaper every week.
Right.
And there were announcements made on the radio or whatever, but now, we're in this media environment where there's so much going on all the time. And
and you're in charge of the website.
I'm in charge
all
of the
right,
website.
so we got to flash the website. Come on, everybody, back there. Let's put that on our screen.
Parkband.org or GoldenGateParkBand.org.
GoldenGateParkBand.org. And it's great because all the bios of all the musicians are there, and the concerts and different things that you've been doing. And yes, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, we have the schedule, the season schedule. We have biographies of the musicians and conductors, a little about the history of the band, and
the concerts
and the full programs.
Yeah, they take in all the cultural
Yes.
aspects of San Francisco, different ethnic groups, a tribute to to composers
Right.
from various everything.
The band, since its inception, has
amazing.
collaborated with community groups from all over San Francisco. So
Name some of those groups.
the Irish Cultural Center. There's a Hungarian group is coming up. We're going to do a Ukrainian solidarity concert, even though we've been doing concerts with the Ukrainian community for 25 years.
And Polish, too.
Polish.
And even Pride.
We did a Pride
concert
concert this year.
Great.
We did a Juneteenth concert.
Right.
And we're trying to involve as
Looking at
many
my
different
notes.
communities in San Francisco as we can.
I think that's great.
Yes.
That's what makes it a success, real
Yes.
success. And where is the music from? I mean, the library.
Yeah.
We talked about the library before the show.
We have an extensive library that goes way back to 1882. It's right now our library is housed in a storage unit in San Francisco.
And you need one, a new one.
We need one. If
All right,
anybody's
out
got extra
there.
space, I've heard there's a lot of extra office space in San Francisco. If somebody would like a nice tax deduction,
Great idea.
donate a space
Great
for
idea.
us for our library.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's a pretty extensive library. It goes way back. We also borrow music from different organizations. We have collaborate with other ensembles. So we have
Yes.
a lot to choose from.
Well, I've been, going to the concerts, and they're great. I really enjoy them. Do we have another photo of the band, everybody? Do we? Can we flash that up again? Let's see. There you are. I'm going to turn to Herman. There you are, the conductor with that wonderful group.
Yes.
You mentioned, these are professional musicians.
It's a lot of fun every week because they play incredibly well.
That's so great.
It's just an hour rehearsal for a 90-minute program, and they pull it off
That's
every single
1 hour.
week.
Well, let's turn to you and find out how you
Sure.
got started in all this. What made you want to be a conductor? Started with an instrument, right?
It
first.
did,
Give
but-
us the background. You're from Pacifica.
Right, and the first thing that I was interested in was playing the trumpet, and only because I liked the sound of the trumpet. Then, Herb Alpert came around, and
Oh, yes.
my dad loved Louis Armstrong, and he played
Oh,
albums
great.
of his, and
And wasn't he in a band?
Louis Armstrong. But my dad
your
was.
dad was.
Yeah, he.
I was
he-
looking at the
he
magazine
marched.
article that we flashed the cover of a magazine article
Yeah.
that was about you, and it was the Pacifica magazine, 2017, I think.
Right.
And I was reading it. There it is. There's the cover.
There it is.
Maestro, Pacifica. And so your dad was in a band?
He was in my uncle directed a Mexican Revolution Drum and Bugle Corps in South San Francisco. And so my dad would
Sounds
play drums
wild.
and bugles for him.
Well, that's your influence a little bit, right?
I think so, yeah.
As a child, you must have gotten excited about hearing them.
Right,
And then you discovered the trumpet.
I did.
And then what happened? The conducting is what I want to get into.
Well, as a child, I went to the children's concerts in San Francisco, and Sergio Ozawa conducted, and when you watch these guys
yes.
conduct, and then how they move, how their gestures fit the music, you just kind of look at it and you go, I want to do that. And, you know, between him and other conductors and even Mickey Mouse, you know.
That's right, in Fantasia.
Right.
Yes.
So,
I heard you yesterday conducting the Peninsula Symphony. That was
a symphonic band.
the symphonic band. That was
Yeah.
great. That was so great.
Yeah, that's fun.
That was a lot of fun. And so tell us now, a typical week as a conductor preparing for all the concerts. For instance, in Golden Gate Park, I mean, people think, oh, it's easy. All you know, baton, and you just
Yeah, you pick out a few tunes and
yeah,
then,
right. And it takes years to be a conductor, right?
It
couple?
takes a lifetime of experiences to decide what you're going to play. But, you know,
Yeah, that's right.
you establish a theme, and then you put tunes together, and then you put them in an order. Then once you get them in an order that kind of makes sense, then that's when I start to create the script that I'm going to
And you're writing it. Right, you write it.
Right. Something short enough, but not too long. Just enough time for the musicians to, you know, catch a breath.
It's perfect.
And then, especially if there's a long piece that we're playing, I want to talk a
Yes.
little bit more so that the brass players can get their chops back.
Well, and you
in the shop.
introduce the pieces so the audience learns about the composer.
Right. You got to set them up, otherwise they're
Yeah.
not going to know what's going to happen. And
Right.
And
And
some-
that's kind of important.
yeah, you got to set it. You get it going in context. You put it in context.
And so, tell me, what is a typical week to prepare? Like Monday, you get up, you have your coffee or your tea, and you say, I think this week, no, tell us.
Well, I meet Eric, the librarian, on Monday mornings to
Okay.
undo the folders from the week before, and then we stuff the folders for the next week, and I make sure that I have all my scores for that week and for the following week.
And for the following, okay.
And then I go home, and it's about Wednesday when I start to think about the process.
And you said that you look over the scores, or you study
I
the
study the
scores. I mean,
scores.
there's thousands of pieces of music.
Right.
So how do you? Oh, you can't give away all your secrets, but
There's no secrets. It's just hard work.
yes, I mean, reading a piece of music, I can do that with the chords and sit at the piano and plunk away the notes, you know, or
Right.
listen, etc. But you sit down and really have to study.
You study the score, you sing the parts, and then you
Sing
listen
the
to YouTube performances. Usually a lot of the YouTube performances help you decide on what you're going to rehearse, how you're going to rehearse it, because there are a lot of not very good performances of a lot of the pieces. So where they crash and burn, you go, okay, I got to rehearse that little section for that piece.
That is true. Yeah,
And
that
then
would be helpful.
finding just the right YouTube performance with the same idea of tempos as mine
Right.
is important. And then I take that URL, and for the more difficult pieces, I put them on a list and I send them out to the musicians so that they get a better idea of what I'm going to do.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I think you've asked me to narrate Tubby the Tuba
Yeah.
next year, right?
Well, the jury's still out, but yes.
The jury's still out. You have to audition? Do I have to audition?
Well,
I'd love to do Tubby the Tuba.
I've never seen a woman narrate
Oh,
Tubby
all
the
the
Tuba.
more
so
reason.
Exactly.
You have to be able to imitate a frog. That's the important thing.
Oh no, ribbit.
One
I'll
of the
have
main
to work.
characters is a frog, after all.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess you're right. I was looking it over, and I actually watched it on YouTube. Well, anyway, enough. Would I want to get the audience interested in coming to see these concerts? So I thought one way would be to show a clip of some different dates and what kind of music, was being played.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be good. So I put a few clips together, and we're going to watch all of these one after the other, which I thought would be the best way to do it. The first clip is about Gershwin on July 4th, is Gershwin's Strike Up the Band. And Mark sent that to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. And it's a short one. Then we're going to just segue into 1 minute, a tribute to the Polish culture from the opera Schwanda, the bagpiper.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Mm-hmm. You can correct me if I need to be. And then we're going to have a little minute of the Orliki dance on Polish Day. And those two selections are from May 5th's concert. And then, oh yes, unfortunately mine did not work, so that's all right. Then we're going to have a live performance probably and talk about the instruments you brought. So that'll be fun. All right, we can roll those videos back there if we can do that. Wow. Those were the dancers. They were great. So I hope everybody out there realizes what you're missing when you're not going to the concerts, because all types of entertainment in one wonderful afternoon that's free. And by the way, on the website, you can also donate, right?
Yes.
Everything's on the website. All the information about the concerts, and then also how to make a donation, and what's coming up, all of this paper. All right, now I would love to feature both of you with your instruments. And let's start, Mark, what do you have? A baby trumpet.
You asked me to bring this. So this is my playing position. I'm president of the band, but I'm also the principal trumpet cornet player. So a lot of people see a cornet and or they hear the word cornet and they're not sure what that is.
Yes.
It's really it's very similar to the trumpet. If you stretched it out, it would be the same length. The only difference is it's a little more conical and it has a little mellower sound. And the cornet was sort of the preferred instrument in bands for about 100 years until the maybe mid 20th century.
Why
yeah,
do you think?
it was standard.
I wonder why. Because easier, portable.
No, it had to do with the sound. They sort of blend better. They're not quite as strident as the trumpet. So we play both in the band, and especially a lot of older music calls for cornets.
And the Music Man was an example.
Right.
Right. Oh yeah.
So generally,
so
show tunes
wonderful.
we generally play trumpets because that's kind of standard. But
Right.
there's a lot of older tunes of marches, transcriptions of orchestra pieces that were traditionally always played on cornets. So we play the cornet.
It's charming.
Yeah.
It looks like, I could maybe play it. Well,
Yeah.
Forget that. Not tonight. And now what do you have, Herman?
Well, I have a trumpet, and
Definitely.
So like Mark said, they're basically the same length. If you
Hold it up,
stretch
just
out.
if you don't mind holding it.
And,
that's great. Thank you.
The difference between these two is mostly conical. So the tubing the diameter is a certain diameter, but that it gradually gets wider and wider until it comes out into the bell. Well, with a trumpet, it is cylindrical, so it's the same size tubing until you finally get to the bell, and then it flares out. And then that's why I don't say that the trumpet is more strident. Sorry, Mark, but it's a little brighter. I like to use brighter.
I think brighter is the word.
Bad trumpet players have a strident sound on the trumpet.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best word, but it
Yes,
projects a little more easily.
it does
Yeah,
project.
it does.
And I've seen Doc Severinsen play in San Miguel de Allende when I've been in Mexico.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he is just, you remember, he was the band leader for Johnny Carson.
Oh yeah,
for
he was
many
one of my
years.
heroes when I was a child.
Oh, he's a great trumpet player.
Yes.
And he's still playing. He's
He
in his
finally
90s.
did retire, but he's 96 now.
Yeah, but he never really, he always says it, but no, I've talked to him several times. But let's get on with what you two are going to play. What are you going to play?
We brought you asked us to play something
Yes.
but something really short. So I happen to have this. I call it a Reader's Digest condensed miniature version of the William Tell Overture.
And then if we go to the concert, you get to hear the
Well,
whole.
we're gonna have to program the whole
You're
thing
going to
now.
have to do
The
that.
pressure's on.
Yeah.
The
I'll do that.
pressure's on out there. You better behave and get over to those concerts.
All right.
All right. Okay,
All right.
Mark, we'll set it up.
Let's set it up.
And this is the mini version
Yes.
of William Tell. Bravo, and the crowd goes wild. That was wonderful. I was thinking of the Lone Ranger.
It's
Was that maybe
one
one
and
of
the same
I don't know
piece.
that. Was
Yeah.
it
That's the association.
That's the
where it goes with.
association, and I mean, all of this wonderful music has been part of many films, much television, used in commercials.
Right.
And that's wonderful. It's so inspiring. I think that's what I love about the concerts. Different moods it brings, know.
And the last concert of the year is movies and television.
Oh, that's right. Oh, cannot be missed.
No, it
That'll be
Cannot be
October
missed.
6th.
That's
Yeah.
going to be October 6th.
And we're in the works, possibly to live stream that if we can.
I
If we
hope
can-
so. I
if we
think
can
that would
work
be
out
wonderful.
the technical bugs.
But there's nothing like live
No.
being there because the feeling is different.
It is.
And it engulfs you. It's just wonderful. And you're surrounded by other people who are all sharing the experience. And that's what's so nice. So hurry up, everybody. 1 o'clock to 2:30. Okay, now I was thinking, you have a busy life as a conductor. I know you do. You have a very busy life. So do you have a busy
Yes.
life. But I was going to ask you, you've talked about your interest in mushrooms, being a mycologist. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, I don't think I'm a mycologist, but I know which mushrooms not to eat.
See, that is special.
It is.
I
That's it.
love mushrooms, but you can't just pick them off any place you see them.
No,
I
you
mean,
have to
can't.
wait till the season.
When is the season?
When it starts to rain. When it starts to rain.
And then after the rain.
After
right?
3 or 4 weeks after it rains, you start going to your spots.
And then you hunt for the mushrooms.
Yeah, and it's a great way to be to get in contact with nature. And
I
all.
think so. That's your hobby, really.
That's one of my hobbies.
One of
yeah.
your- What's your other hobby?
I love to garden. And I cook.
Wonderful. And cook.
Yes.
Well,
I'm still waiting for the
out there in
invitation.
television land, just, that's wonderful because if you have a garden, you can grow everything you want to cook.
Right. Especially in summertime, it's
Yeah, comes in handy.
The pesto is fabulous.
Okay, I'll take your word for it, but I want to try it. What about you, Mark? What's your hobby?
Oh my gosh.
Musicians with hobbies.
Yeah, that's terrible. I
Study music.
Yeah, music and it's unfortunately all encompassing. I do a little fiddling around with audio production and video.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you have an audio business.
Yeah,
I saw that.
He also
That's
directs
fun.
a community band.
I also
over
direct a
there.
community
Oh,
band.
wait, is that the Court of Madera?
Court of Madera Town Band.
Yes, well, that's wonderful. See,
Yeah.
so you are a conductor
I'm also a conductor, yeah.
as
and
well.
I taught school for many years
and now,
too.
Herman, you are the 11th conductor, correct, of this band?
That's what I hear.
That's fantastic. I mean, you go through history. 142 years. I understand this is, we're coming to the end of the show, so I want to thank you both for coming. It was
Thank you for having us.
great.
Yeah,
And I
we
want you to
appreciate
just
it.
make sure everybody watches this video and contributes to the Golden Gate Park Band. And the next concert is this coming Sunday.
Right.
What's the theme?
We are collaborating with the CERT people. Those are the
CERT.
CERT and
NERT.
It's
Neighborhood
NERT?
Emergency Response Teams.
they used to be called CERT NERT, and I think they dropped the CERT. So now it's the NERT, and they
So
give away
difficult.
freebies. There's some good freebies that they have. So
Well, what are they?
One year, for a
Like
number
an
of years, they
alarm
were
or
It's
something?
they were what?
It's.
Oh,
No,
it's.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
the
right.
ice cream. Yeah, they
Oh,
used
the
to do that.
ice cream
I will
sandwiches.
see. We'll have to see what they
Well, we'll
but
have to see.
But
The
also
blanket
emergency.
the blanket to keep your house from burning down. If there's
Oh, of course, one of those.
And some emergency, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't
Supplies.
believe- Well, we're just, you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to wave goodbye. And the other thing is you can greet and meet after the concert. Herman will be available.
Yep.
So will Mark be, and all these music. I mean, it's just wonderful. Bye, everybody. We'll see you at the concert. Sundays, 1 o'clock.
Go, you mixed up Siciliano. Hung your Genovese to the mambo like a crazy with a hey mambo. Don't want a tarantella, hey mambo. No more a mozzarella, hey mambo. Mambo Italiano, try it.